Welcome to you all. My name is Adiba Cremonini and I'm the Executive Director of Silicon Vikings. How many of you have never been to a Silicon Vikings event before? Alright, that's a lot of people. So let's tell you a little bit about what we do. Silicon Vikings is a business networking organization, non-profit, that connects the Nordic region, Nordic countries of Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, and Estonia, and their innovation and startup ecosystems to Silicon Valley's ecosystem of innovation and startups, and VCs, of course. And what we do is mainly three things. We do events like these. We do about 60 events per year, here and in the Nordic countries. We do this through our special interest groups for mobile, cloud and social media, entrepreneurship and learning, life science, and clean technology. We have a lot of Silicon Vikings team members here, so I'm not gonna, we have a tight schedule, so I'm just gonna tell you guys to introduce yourselves after. We also do a lot of promotion and branding and making sure that Nordic innovations and startups are seen and heard in this very competitive ecosystem, and making sure that they are connected to Silicon Valley in the best way. And the third thing we do is basically creating different projects that have to do with using best practices of Silicon Valley to teach entrepreneurs in how to scale their businesses and so on through different knowledge projects, learning projects, and inspiration projects. And for this group of young, great Swedish companies, they've gone through a program this week called Startup Inspire. And the program has basically had a lot of super great experts, mentors, advisors that have helped them with how do you target your market, customer profiling, and so on. How do you get into the US? And one of the main things in the US is to pitch. You pitch, you pitch, you pitch, you pitch. And that's why we had to have a big part of the program is actually pitching. So they have been pitch trained by Bill Joes. Bill, say hi.
Yeah.
Woo! And they have been helped by John there. John? Woo! There you go. And what is your market? Who's your customer? Top 3 customers. Very intense schedule. And here we are. Now it's time for the pitching. But before we introduce the moderator and the panel and have the companies pitching, because you're super excited to hear them, aren't you? Oh, we can do better. Yeah! All right. I'm going to need you all to give them a lot of positive energy. So woos and applause and everything. Just give them all that energy you have. It's really tough to stand up here. No pressure. Easy peasy. So we do have a great host this evening. One of our offices is located in this venue, Runway, the coolest co-working space in San Francisco. Allan, the founder and CEO of Runway. I thought everyone.
Thanks everyone, welcome to Runway. Probably San Francisco's best kept secret, even if she thinks it's the coolest startup space. Most of you probably have never heard of it until you got here. We're at full capacity now. We've been around for only a little over 7 months. 4 startups have exited already. What we're finding is that the startups, for whatever reason, they're moving faster here. I could get into it more, but I just wanted to welcome you all. If you have any questions about Runway and the startups here, please find me afterwards.
Thank you. Thank you, Allan, and thank you for hosting us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we also have our dear event sponsor, the Swedish Innovation Agency, Vinnova and Anlidgard. Woo!
Hi everybody, so I have a quiz question for you. Which region in Europe keeps topping all possible innovation indexes in the world? The Nordic region! And this country has been now for the 4th year consecutively in 2nd place when it comes to the Global Innovation Index. Sweden! As you all know, it takes a lot of hard work to stay on top, right? And we have 8 companies that show this here tonight. It's going to be great to see you.
No pressure.
Vinnova, Swedish Innovation Agency. We're a government funding agency. Our mission is really to try to promote and increase Sweden's innovation capacity for sustainable growth and for the benefit of society. And I'm the director of the Silicon Valley office, and my job is really here to make sure that we leverage the strength of Silicon Valley and the Bay Area, another amazing innovation region, right, with the strength of Sweden. So, thank you, Adiba, for making us sponsors tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for doing a lot of very great work for Sweden here. And also, of course, we do have our very dear main sponsors to Silicon Vikings that are our sponsors in everyday operations. We have Babson College. They have the top MBA and entrepreneurship programs in the US, right? Anyone from Babson here? No? We have SAS, Scandinavian Airlines. Now you can fly direct from San Francisco to Copenhagen, so don't hesitate. Get on that flight and go. We have Lisa Egebo, the director of SAS here. Lisa, woo! There we go. Go to her if you want to find great tickets. We have our dear Bank of the West, Julian Christians. There we go. And Bank of the West is actually the only bank in Silicon Valley that is for Europeans, and that will make it easier for you to be a European startup that starts up here. So go to Julian if you need help with your banking. We have K&L Gates, a law firm that will help you with corporate and other kind of legal stuff. And then we have Sköna. Is Lars, by the way, Lars Johansson here? No? And then we have Creandum, which is an ad agency and helping us with our creative profile and so on. Thank you so much to our main sponsors. I know this is super tiny and you might not see it. We really tried to enhance it, but we do have Twitter handles to all the panelists that have Twitter handles. We do have that as well for the startups. If you can see that, use your phone to maybe zoom in or something. And this event does have a hashtag. It's SwePitch. Swe as in Sweden, pitch in one word, SwePitch. Use the hashtag and use the Twitter handle for Silicon Vikings, @SiliconVikings. And then the Twitter handles for the companies. If you want to tweet about this, that'll be fun. All right, without further ado, let's introduce you to our moderator of this evening, Mr. Max Shapiro, our dear friend of the Nordics, a true Viking. I will get you a hat someday. And Max is the CEO and founder of People Connect, that basically makes sure that all the startups, all the companies have the top team recruited. He will tell you a little bit more about that himself, and also an angel investor. Max, the show is yours now.
Thank you, Adiba. Some feedback. Thanks, Brian. Pardon my back. So I am
Max Shapiro. I'm the CEO of People Connect. I'm the CEO of People Connect. We do recruiting for early stage high-tech startups, and we find people who will work without a paycheck for the first 3 months while companies are raising money. So when companies say, as soon as we raise $500,000, we need to bring in a world-class chief marketing officer, we can help. And I put on 3 monthly pitch events, one of which, Pitch Force, is here every month. It's going to be here on September 12th. I'm also an angel investor, a member of the Keiretsu Forum. So a little bit about the rules for tonight, what's going to go on, and then we're going to have the judges introduce themselves. Thanks, Marlon. So it's going to be a 5-minute pitch. Manas here has a clock, will time you, and you won't get any more than 5 minutes. Then we're going to have 8 minutes of questions and answers and feedback. Not every judge will get to give feedback or ask questions every time, but they will certainly be involved. If they're not able to comment on one company, they'll comment on the next, because they've all got a lot of great insight and great thoughts. When the voting is over, when the pitches are over, the judges have cards. Allan, you want to somebody hold your cards up 1 through 5, and we're going to vote on the companies, how we feel about them. So 1 is low, 5 is high. So when we're done with the feedback, then we will ask the judges to vote. Adiba will keep track of the voting, and we'll have some awards for the winners. I think one of the things that's important for everybody here, as well as the judges, is to know, have a sense of what Bill covered and what he would like them to cover in their pitches. So I'm going to ask Bill to talk a little bit about what your focus was on with the startups. Unaccustomed as you are to public speaking.
Thank you. I didn't know I was going to do this. One of the things that we focus on with them is be able to pretend they were in the audience and what would they like to hear from their peers. And so through a very intensive program of many, many speakers, of which I just was one, Adib put together a fantastic week for them for the time that they're here. And all we really wanted them to do is to be able to briefly tell you what they're up to and what their ideas are. And having worked with them, I think you're going to find there's some very exciting companies that you'll be hearing from tonight.
Thank you, Bill. And it's my understanding that one of the points that they were not asked to cover is how much money they're looking for. So I want the judges to know that, because sometimes companies get beat up and they say, well, you didn't say how much money you wanted. These companies were instructed to not necessarily cover that point. So what I'd like to do is have each of the judges introduce themselves, talk a little bit about their background, investment philosophy. We'll start with Marlon, please.
Hi, Marlon Nichols. I work at Intel Capital, venture investor there, focused on software and internet investments. My background is in enterprise software, did a stint in management consulting, and was also part of a founding team for a startup that we ended up selling to SAP. So I've been in your shoes as well.
Great. John.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John McIntyre. I run the Citrix Startup Accelerator in Santa Clara. We're an accelerator that funds enterprise or B2B companies with a $250,000 investment, and it's a longer program, about a year or however long it takes them to validate their business plan and get an A round or a Series C round beyond us. Prior to that, I was an Intel alum and did my own startup company in Europe in the 2004 to 2008 time period. Thank you.
Ullas.
Good evening. My name is Ullas Naik. I am an entrepreneur right now because I have just founded a venture firm called Streamlined Ventures. It's a seed stage investment platform for infrastructure software companies. So these are companies that are doing technology infrastructure for the application layer, or also business services offered through an API. Prior to that, I helped build a venture firm called Globespan Capital. We built it to about 1.3 billion under management, invested in about 150 companies. I've also been a very active angel investor, having invested in about 60 companies. Before that, I was a Wall Street research analyst, and before that, I was an entrepreneur. Before that, I was an organic chemist.
Hello, I'm Sarah Cohn, and I'm an associate at Illuminate Ventures. We're a micro VC fund that invests in the enterprise space. Before that, I was at Google and been at Amazon and Omidyar Networks.
John. You can use that other, there's another mic there that you can use. Good. You're gonna help.
Yeah, hi, I'm not Martin. Martin had to go into the hospital where his finger was blowing up. But I'm Johan, one of his 4 general partners at Creandum. We are a Stockholm-based VC. We manage about 250 million euro, 30 investments, Spotify, Rap, iSet, Vivino, and other companies you may recognize. Before that, I was at Benchmark Capital Europe, 5 years as a general partner. And before that, I was an entrepreneur. And before that, with ABB and the Kinnevik Group, which is a large media and telecom group in Sweden. Thank you.
Okay, it's me again, guys. My background actually is in venture capital. I was part of a small group of undergraduates that launched a $20 million venture fund while we were in school in between our sophomore and junior years. And we made about 15 investments and had 4 IPOs. Actually, our 4th IPO happened 3 weeks ago. The first 3 IPOs averaged over $1 billion each. Then I left the fund to start my own startup, which was acquired by Rakuten, which is the Amazon of Japan. I've run a YC-backed startup. Found out that I don't have the talent or the skill to build anything on just 25K. I need a little more than that. And now I'm running Runway. Thanks.
Okay, so we're ready to begin. I have one request, two requests. One is turn your phones off or put them on vibrate, please. The other one is to bring as much positive energy. You know, Adita was talking about it's not easy to get up here, give a pitch in your first language, let alone your second language. But let's have as much energy for the eighth presenter as we do for the first. So let's have a nice welcome for Centif Solutions.